Season 1 check-in, dev update League of Legends.
Hey everyone, I'm
Sup? Like to dislike ratio. You just know this is going to be good.
Andre, also known as Medler.
And I'm Paul, aka Pabro. Today is Thursday, January 30th, and we're back for another dev update. We're going to check in on some of the changes we made for Season 1, and we'll talk a bit more about some of the things coming up in Act 2 of this season, which starts on March 6th. We're a bit over a month.
This guy looks borderline depressed. By the way, it's like he knows he's about to deliver some bad news.
Into the first season of 2025, and we've been following how changes have been landing closely. We've seen some really good signs and feedback to things like seasonal themes and some of the gameplay changes that we will touch on a little later.
How about we remove the fucking disgusting tank meta? Just one of the questions.
But first, we want to talk about Hextech chests.
There we go. Let's go.
And, more broadly, earning skins instead of buying them. This means we're going to talk a bit more about the business side of League, so that we can share more of our thinking and context with you. Now, our belief as a company is that delivering great experiences for you will lead to great results for Riot.
That is a good philosophy to stand by, but sadly we didn't get any good experience in the past couple of years. Honestly, in my humble opinion, the game has been going downhill ever since the durability patch.
We want to deliver the best experience we can, that you can play forever without spending anything, so that you only spend money when you think we've made something great that you want to spend money on.
Yeah.
A free-to-play game, skins are the primary way League pays its bills. They're what give us the ability to continue to develop the game and wider ecosystem, from adding new game modes to updates to Summoner's Rift, cinematics, live events like Worlds, patch-to-patch balance, and much longer-term investments in League for the future. The number of people playing League has been pretty stable over recent years, and
That is surprising. Honestly, that is surprising. The number should have been declining. Although granted, when we're looking at the World Championship, the numbers are always increasing. Like, the viewership is being surpassed and beating every single record every single year. But when it comes down to the gameplay, honestly, I'm surprised that we have the still stable player base. Even though the prolonged queue times suggest otherwise, but maybe that's just me.
we're really grateful for that. Our cost to maintain and develop League has also been pretty stable over time too.
So this is why you guys decided to introduce fucking gacha system, the skins that cost fucking bazillion dollars. We're talking about a Faker Ari skin, we're talking about a $250 Jinx skin, we are talking about $250 Gen skin, now we have the set skin. So given how the costs of maintaining and running League of Legends remain the same, you guys introduced fucking bazillion price tag skins, you got greedy, because you saw that people are still buying them, so your profits should be through the roof. So, okay, sure, enlighten me.
Ensuring we have an equally sustainable income coming in to reinvest in the game, however, has been frankly more of a recent challenge.
And that's where free Hextech chests come in. When we initially added them, we wanted to offer additional reward for time spent, using something we knew many of you really cared about earning. Skins.
Yep.
And for a while, we think that worked well for both players and the business side of League. Over time, though, free chests unintentionally became the primary way to unlock skins, and an increasing number of players ended up with substantial skin collections for free.
I mean, this account is like, what, 3 years old? Maybe even 4 years old? In total, I have 42 skins. I haven't bought a single skin. In 4 years, I got 42 skins just from Hextech chests. Also removed the 4 skins that we got from the event. So for the 8 skins in the span of 3 years, plus Elise, yeah, so 47 skins. Makes sense. Surely this makes sense.
This meant that purchasing skins directly didn't make sense anymore to a lot of players, because they were happy just waiting to get something eventually. That did lead to a great player experience, but it was not sustainable for League in the long term.
So we took a step back to evaluate League's reward systems and realized we needed to make changes to be sustainable for the long run. We didn't want to go all the way back to the early days of League with no skins earned with playtime at all, but we also realized we couldn't continue giving away as many as we were.
So how about we keep Hextech chests around, but we just remove the chance that you can get the skin. Like it was already a Gamba, sure, no one was mad about the Gamba. Like you can get the skin, sure. You can get a fucking orange essence, sure. You can get a fucking emote, sure. But how about in the back end, without telling your audience that you guys will be lowering the amount of skins you can get from the chests? Just lower that shit, keep the chests in, and everyone is happy. You are fixing your issue. Players are happy because we're still getting the chests. Wild idea.
We did a number of other things to ensure League's business was sustainable before concluding
That we need to introduce $250 skins. Yeah.
we needed to give away fewer skins. Increasing the number of skins we could make each year was good for both the business and the player experience, but eventually we ran into meaningful diminishing returns. We introduced premium cosmetics. We've also explored a lot of other cosmetic content types, and we'll keep trying to do so. But champion skins are clearly the thing most of you care about more than anything else.
Not true, I care about the decent gameplay. Like, fuck it. Honestly, take away the skins, take away the free hex stacks, take away the emotes, take away everything that you're giving us for free, but give me a proper gameplay. Create classic League of Legends servers. Like we have World of Warcraft Classic, right? So create League of Legends Classic with servers hosting specific seasons. You want to play PB, you go PB. You want to play Season 5, you go play Season 5. You want to play Season 3, which is objectively the best season ever, you go play Season 3. You know? That's the compromise I think most of us would be happy with.
When it comes to cosmetics, and obviously, adding pay for power content is a non-starter for us.
We know some of you aren't interested in the business side of things, or even cosmetics in general, and that others won't believe this isn't about increasing profit year over year.
I wonder why they will not believe that. I'm just curious why.
This is about ensuring the sustainable long-term health of League, though. And we do hope this is helpful context for those of you who've been wondering what our thinking was with this change. We want to ensure League remains a great, fully free-to-play game. We believe a change like this, while unpopular, is the right call and allows us to deliver not just on our plans today, but also our plans for League in the future. Now, we'll be sure to give you more context on our thinking behind changes to skins and any other related systems in the future as well. And we're currently doing a lot of global surveying and discussion with players about what is and isn't working.
Speaking of which, we want to talk about some changes we have coming to Battle Passes. First up, we've got some improvements to the Battle Pass skins.
Well, that's a shocker, isn't it? This is definitely not about the profits, by the way. This is not the fucking FOMO and predatory tactic to get players to spend money on the Battle Pass.
We've heard a fair bit of feedback that those skins don't feel like they're good enough in various respects. We agree with a lot of that feedback. We're going to be looking to add more distinct visual effects and more pronounced model changes. We're also planning to deviate from a season's theme a bit for some future pass skins, given the risk we otherwise overdo the same sorts of visual appearances and/or pushing champions into themes that don't make sense.
But that's the beauty of it, isn't it? Fucking KDE Gragas doesn't make sense. And as far as I'm concerned, that's the most successful skin there is.
Now, because it takes some time to make or modify skins, those improvements won't be present in the Act 2 Battle Pass skins that you'll see in a couple of weeks. They will, however, be fully reflected in the pass skins for Season 2, which starts in May. Additionally, if you don't already own the champion for the Battle Pass skins, unlocking the skin will also unlock that champion for you.
So nothing changes. Because if you could get the skin previously, from rewards, you would also get the champion. I'm looking at the case in point of getting gold rank, getting the victorious skin. If you don't have the champion, you're getting also the champion.
We also want to clear up how skins in the Battle Pass affect the champion's skin cooldown. We don't look at past skins when deciding when a champion is due to get their next regular skin. So if Alistar appears in the Act 2 Battle Pass, he can still receive another skin later this year. Another improvement we're making to the Battle Pass is to the missions that feed into it. Looking at your feedback, certain types of missions are pretty unpopular. We're going to be removing missions that require playing with purchase skins or players who have purchased specific skins.
We're also removing and
Wait, that was a thing? The actual fucking requirement for a thing was to purchase a skin and play with it? Wow. Fucking wow.
reworking missions that players were having a hard time completing, like destroy 5 turret plates in a single game, which was hard to complete for many players, and impossible for ARAM-only players. And for those of you who play a mixture of League and Teamfight Tactics, we'll be roughly doubling the amount of XP that TFT contributes to the League Battle Pass.
Now, with that said, let's hand things over to Matt and Eduardo to talk about gameplay.
Hey friends,
So that was the bad news, I believe. Cool.
I'm Eduardo Riot Cadmus Cortejosa.
And I'm Riot Froxon. Just as a heads up, it's playtest time right now, so things might be a little loud. But we have a few things to discuss today. First, I want to talk a bit about how some of our gameplay changes we added in January have landed. Let's start by talking about one of the biggest changes that we saw a lot of conversation around. Feats of Strength.
Yep.
As a reminder, Feats of Strength were introduced to provide more structure to the early game and defer some of that early game snowballing until after laning phase by moving the immediate power of First Blood and First Turret to later in the game. These were a bit rough around the edges on release, and we made some adjustments to things, like changing the feat of Warfare from First Blood to First 3 kills.
Like, sure, that's a good idea. That's something that pushes players towards more of a fighting style, but if we're looking at players, and I believe that's going to be the majority of the players who want to get better at the game, who want to be the challenger, how about we replace a free kills to 100 CS? Like, initially First Blood was dog shit. I know it, you know it, everyone knows it. We moved it to free kills. Okay, it's slightly better, but how about we remove getting the kills and replace it with whoever gets 100 CS first? Because that way people will actually get to lock in into the gameplay, and that way they'll be better. Thus, climbing the ranks and being, at least theoretically, more happy in the game.
And nerfing Triumphant Boot stats. They're currently in a stable place we're quite happy with. As for snowballing, our goal was to keep it roughly where it was before Season 1 went live.
Yeah, it was dog shit. It didn't exist, because you fuckers killed it with a durability patch. Plus, then you decided to fucking double down by absolutely fucking completely destroying the early invade potential. Like, dog, that was the beauty of playing aggressively early. That was a 50-50 coin flip. You either win or you don't. Now, it's not so much of a 50-50 because the fucking entire enemy team gets a random fucking automated ping that there's a fight happening in your jungle. Now sure, in higher elos, people are looking at minimap. But if you're an average player, which means you're gold and below, you don't really pay attention to the minimap. You know, at least I'm not. So, that's the beauty of the early invade. But when we have an automated ping that summons the entire Fire Nation upon you, you know, kinda ruins the whole concept of snowballing.
We've been comparing this game state of pre and post changes based on First Blood, First Turret, epic objectives taken, and game length. As of now, we haven't seen significant changes, and snowballing is roughly equal to where it was at the end of last year.
Yeah, it didn't exist.
There are still some improvements we'd like to make, of course, but overall, the changes are moving the game in the intended direction. Next up, let's discuss Articon and the Blood Roses he brought to the Rift. Articon was added to provide an objective in the mid-game that has rewards worth fighting for, progresses the game, but doesn't completely blow everything open like a 20-minute Baron would. We also wanted a way to incentivize teams to fight each other in slower games while not speeding up already fast ones, which is what led to the two different forms, one which incentivizes action, and the other that lightly stalls it. That said, we think Voracious Articon's rewards are too strong in game warping, so next patch, we're increasing the withdrawal time to 15 seconds to give defending players a bit more time to recover after forcing enemies to withdraw. Next up, we have the Blood Roses, which we introduced alongside Articon. After the nerfs last month, we like where Blood Roses are for now, and that they reward teams for proactively controlling these spaces. Another big component of our seasonal changes was the Noxian update to the Rift. We're excited to keep doing these for future seasons, but we definitely want to make sure we're doing them right. We've seen a lot of your feedback around the map feeling too dark, gloomy, or eye straining, and we've got some changes in the works to address these concerns that should be ready with Act 2's release. We're excited about the prospect for new gameplay that the Season 1 changes have created as players continue to learn and adapt to them.
Yeah, now we're looking at this map. Given how we're looking at Noxus right now, Act 1, Noxus, dark, gloomy, all about that power, all about that strength. Lore accurate, Act 2 is going to be Demacia. Demacia is all about that brightness, shiny, white. So that's going to be straight up inverted map colors of what we see right now. Racist 2, exactly.
Gameplay that the Season 1 changes have created as players continue to learn and adapt to them. Having said that, when trying to add new gameplay to League, especially ones of this size, we're not always going to land it right away. We're trying to strike the balance between making quick changes based on your feedback and giving the changes enough time to breathe while we iterate them to a pot where everyone is happy with. We've got more details breaking down our review of the Season 1 changes in a dev blog out now, so make sure to give them a read.
We also wanted to give a quick update for all you Swifties in our newest queue, SwiftPlay. We hoped that SwiftPlay would be at least as popular as QuickPlay, and it has far exceeded our expectations. We're currently figuring out how and when to bring it to regions that don't quite have it yet.
I don't believe I'm saying that, but give mythic items to SwiftPlay. Because unironically, in the last couple of weeks that I've played both Ranked Summoner's Rift and SwiftPlay, dog, I am enjoying SwiftPlay way more. Because I'm actually having fun in that game mode. Because that's something that brings me back to good seasons where everything was fucking broken, everything was fucking busted, and shit was fun. Straight up shit was fun. You go to Ranked, solo queue right now, dog, the only thing that's broken is the tanks. You can be Vayne, you can be Fiora, you can be anyone that burns the tanks, it doesn't matter. The tank 3 levels below you with less items will one-shot you. You lost because you didn't pick the tank. And if that's not the definition of anti-fun, I don't know what is.
So far, SwiftPlay has hit the goals we set for it, with game endings on average 4 to 5 minutes faster than SR. We also wanted to reduce snowballing, the rubber banding mechanics, allowing players to hit their full builds more often, and allowing players to enjoy a game of League of Legends with friends of higher skill gaps.
When it comes to balance, we're pretty happy with the early and mid game, but endgame pacing and outlier game lengths are issues we want to address. SwiftPlay just doesn't hit our goals for the queue when games aren't swift, and everyone is stuck at level 18 trying to close out the game for a long time. We've made some changes such.
Yeah, maybe, just maybe, wild guess. That's because SwiftPlay is populated by players who are not taking ranked seriously. They're not taking ranked seriously because they're not taking this game seriously. Which means their skill level is slightly lower than the average Summoner's Rift enjoyer. Which means they are not familiar with the macro. Which means they cannot close the games because they don't know how. How do I know this? Because I'm one of them, bro. Simple as that.
Such as minions getting stronger more quickly, tower resistances falling off sooner, as well as making
What's falling? Resistances, right? Right, yeah, I thought he said distances.
structures slowly burn towards the Nexus, forcing the game to end. This will essentially mean that if a game lasts long enough, the team that can make the most progress towards the enemy Nexus will win. We're also going to be looking at what we can do to improve things like matchmaking or lobby improvements for pre-mates.
Yeah, you guys do that.
And we'll let you know if we do anything there.
Because right now there's nothing done. Right now there's nothing fucking done. Unironically, you queue up SwiftPlay right now, there's a high chance out of 10 players, at least 2 of them are going to be below level 25.
These changes should be live by the time this video goes live, so let us know what you think.
Next,
Changes should be live by the time this video goes live. It's been 11 days. And if we pay close attention to my match history real quick, let's suppose we're checking this game. Show me my jungler, level 19. Show me my middle. No questions asked. ADC, level 23. Support, level 86, unranked. This is exactly my case in point I'm talking about when I am referring to the idea that people who play Swiftly just want to enjoy the game. They want to have fun in the game. That's the whole premise of the fucking video game. You are escaping your sad reality into a virtual reality where you can have fun. At least take a break from real life and chill, have fun. That's the whole concept of video games. Video games are supposed to be fun. Solo queue, not fun. Swiftplay is fun. That's the reason I'm playing it. That's the reason these players are playing it. Granted, they are not good, but you don't need to be good to have fun. But when it comes down to matchmaking, some mistakes, some issues might be requiring some ironing out.
We want to talk to you a bit more about what you can expect when Arena returns in Act 2 of this season. As we mentioned in the last dev update, we want to make sure game modes are something a player can always count on being available, making them a fun part of each season. For Season 1, we've moved Arena from the Rings of Wrath to the Grand Reckoning, new maps and all. As you can see, we've overhauled all the maps to feel like you're in the fighting pits of Noxus. And we didn't just reskin the maps, we actually made some improvements. Here's a new version of the Koi Pond map. The biggest change you'll notice here is the giant ring that goes around the perimeter of the map, aptly named the Ring, which will help address a lot of the quality of life issues. This was actually inspired by some player feedback that we read. So shout out to the community for your awesome suggestions, and as always, please keep them coming.
A very poor choice of words, my friend. Given how not even 5 minutes ago you delivered the news that you guys are removing the Hextech chests, and now you want our feedback. And keep the feedback going. Yeah, we'll still have a couple of minutes of this video. I am curious to see the feedback the community has left on this video in the comments section.
We also have a brand new map joining the pool, the Reckoner Arena, which features destructible pillars which will collapse upon taking enough damage and slightly tweak the terrain. Don't worry though, they're relatively small and you won't obscure your vision.
Another part of Arena we've been working on is progression systems that we're really excited about. Not only do Champion Mastery and the Seasonal Battle Pass both progress with Arena games now, but we also built a new Fame system for Arena. Many of you mentioned that you didn't feel like you had a reason to keep coming back to Arena, so Fame was designed to keep Arena
The guy in the background is working overtime. Got to remove you for a second. If any one of you are curious why they need to increase the profits, well, let me tell you something. It's because they have developers like the one in the left bottom corner. Look at the insane amount of job he's working.
fresh that you didn't know, but we also built a new Fame system for Arena. Many of you mentioned that you didn't feel like you had a reason to keep coming back to Arena, so Fame was designed
Full-time employee, by the way. With health benefits and all. Dog, I need to sign up to work at Rita. This shit seems fun. You do jack shit, you screw over your player base, and you get paid.
to keep Arena fresh and interesting, even after you've played dozens of games. You can gain fame by playing Arena, increasing your notoriety within the fighting pits, or by completing Arena missions for each champion. Just to be clear, this isn't like Swarm where you gain power by progressing. Instead, you'll gain rewards like new augments or match intro visuals that should keep Arena feeling exciting.
We're also trying something new by skipping cameos this go around and celebrating Arena Noxus style by bringing in the Guests of Honor. These guests are famous Noxians or Reckoners looking to spice up your fights. Each guest will have a specific rule that they'll apply to the entire game. For example, Mordekaiser will make it so that at the beginning of each round, one player on each team starts combat in the Death Realm. We designed the Guest of Honor with a lot of learnings from cameos in mind. So each guest should feel like they affect each team equally without being too intrusive or unfair, yet still asking players to learn or adapt to them. They also won't be random either. So everyone in the lobby will have a round in which they can vote on which guests they'd like to invite. Please, as always, let us know how you like them. It also wouldn't be an Arena re-release without some new augments, so make sure to keep an eye out for those alongside the return of Curse Augment.
By the way, job's done. He's not at his desk. That's it. He's calling it a day. Job's done. Full-time employee, by the way.
If you're interested in more details about Arena, make sure to check out the dev blog that just came out today. And I can't wait to see you all in the fighting pits.
All right, we also have a few other updates that we want to share with you all today. We finally got those updated Champion Mastery emotes coming out in March. They've taken a lot longer than we'd hoped. We haven't forgotten about them though. The Blue Essence Emporium will also be making a return at the start of April. And as a reminder, the next Battle Pass will include the increased Blue Essence amounts that we shared earlier in January, which you can also get for this current pass in the form of a one-time mission.
On a different topic, we've got a test of the matchmaking system called TrueSkill 2 coming up. We're going to be trying.
Oh, so it's not live yet. There we go. There we go. Yeah, so as far as I'm concerned, this system will be so easy to fucking abuse. It's going to be disgusting.
TrueSkill 2 for Swiftplay and ARAM games.
Swiftplay. Oh, this is good. Oh, this is good, bro. You can be challenger in solo queue, but you can play around this system in Swiftplay to end up playing against lower level accounts. Let's just put it this way.
From late February onwards for a while. We think TrueSkill 2 has the potential to help us get players to a fair and appropriate matchmaking rating much quicker than our current implementation can. Given how important matchmaking is to competitive games like League though, we want to test and verify first before going really broad with it.
So which server is going to be the target dummy?
So we'll run the test for a while and then let you know how it's been going and what our next steps are or aren't. This work on matchmaking, however, has meant a trade-off to work elsewhere, to Clash specifically. Because the team doing that work is the same team that would otherwise be supporting Clash. For now, as a result, Clash will occur every 2 months instead of monthly.
And last for this section, a bit of context on streamer mode that recently went out.
What?
That's been a long requested feature from some players who stream. Given it's one of the things that can help reduce incidents of stream sniping and other forms of streamer harassment or just...
What do you mean, stream sniping and streamer harassment? If you are putting out your information, confidential information such as your team's minimap, ward locations, objectives, timers, strategy, for the whole fucking world to see, for a monetary gain, you know, you don't get to complain that you're getting stream sniped. Dog, the streamer mode is already enabled in fucking OBS, the streaming software. It's called delay. You know, just have a fucking delay. Cover the minimap. I don't see how that's an issue. On streamer harassment, I mean, you're playing League, you deserve to get harassed.
disruption. It's clearly not a solve by itself, but we do think it's a useful part of a wider and ongoing effort. We also wanted to take a moment to talk about what you can expect after we leave Noxus. Historically, our mid-year events have been mostly a time for some levity and lightheartedness, like Star Guardian or Anima Squad. And while this may not be the case for each year's second season, we want Season 2 of 2025 to be a bit of a palate cleanser after so much focus on Noxus.
Now, that said, you can...
Okay, so it's not going to be Demacia. Although it would make sense for it to be Demacia. Bandle City? Honestly, I'm suspecting Bandle City.
still expect a cohesive thematic that spans things like map art, updates, a new champion, skins, and more. We
Paid skins, you forgot to mention. Paid skins. But granted, Rito is a business for profit, so naturally they need to make more profit. And as far as I'm concerned, you know, I'm still standing by my idea. They could have left the Hextech chests and just nuke the percentage of rolling an actual skin in those chests.
don't want to spoil what's in store just yet, and we've still got some fun focus on Noxus ahead of us for now. But we'll be back in our next dev update, where we'll dive into what you can expect in Season 2. That's about it for this one. Don't forget to check out the dev blogs to learn more about some of the things we talked about today. And as a reminder, the First Stand tournament will be kicking off in Korea on March 10th, so be sure to tune in to watch the full Fearless draft and see which team can bring home a second bye for their region at MSI.
All right, thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.
Let's see the real question right now. Let's see what the experts have to say about this debacle, about this fiasco. We're looking at a humble amount of 9,000 comments. Riot, I am so sorry you went bankrupt after I pulled Warrior Princess Silver. How am I supposed to tell my keys that their chests aren't coming home? Yeah. They deleted comments, by the way. Surprise, surprise. Mine was gone like Hextech chests. After 6 days, it's 7,217 likes, 49,671 dislikes, 0 Hextech chests. Oof. We want to deliver the best experience we can, and then proceed to deliver the most horrible experience they can. Honestly, it could be worse. Not gonna lie, they could have made it worse.